Hello, Ogden Pride. How is everybody doing today? If you can hear me, because we're having a little bit of audio problems, can you give me a sign in the chat if you guys can hear me out there in Ogden? Awesome. So glad to have you guys with us. Welcome to our 6th annual Ogden Pride Festival. I'm excited to have you all here today. With me, I've got my board of directors. We are learning how to manage all this, so you bear with us here. We're going to go live with all of us. Let me just double check how we can get... cameras out there. All right, there we go. Let's make that bigger. We're learning, we're managing with technology. How is everybody doing this Saturday morning? Hopefully all you can hear me. And we're good to go. Let's start this thing. How many of you are so excited to have us do Pride this year? So Pride, what is Pride? By definition, it is the confidence and self-respect as expressed by members of a group, typically one that has been socially marginalized on the basis of their shared identity, culture, and experience. In 1969, just a little over 50 years ago, Pride started in a bar as a riot against the injustice that lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people faced. And while it is the single most recognized moment of gay civil rights, it is not the last moment we would have to stand up against those who oppressed us as a community. Today we face a different kind of fight, one that we have just as much need to stand together to combat. One that has most certainly made us think, move, and celebrate our pride differently. But what we face today cannot hide what we did 50 years ago. While we continue to face injustice, oppression, and continued systemic inequality, we still need to find space to be authentic. Stand together and fight just like they did that day at Stonewall. We also must pivot to accommodate the truth in what we face. When we opted as a board to move forward with a Pride Festival, we knew it wasn't going to be our favorite way of holding one. Traditionally, we would be setting up the amphitheater and municipal park in downtown Ogden, Utah. The grounds abuzz with hundreds of people getting prepared to host thousands of community members from across the northern Utah area. You'd traditionally see each of the volunteer Ogden Pride board members working diligently to make sure our vendors, sponsors, and entertainment were ready to meet the day, to stand in pride. Traditionally, we'd also be complaining of the August heat, with many of you still questioning why the first weekend in August while you enjoy the afternoon camaraderie of the festival. We'd say because tradition. And for the past now 6 years of celebrating Pride in Ogden, we have had so many fun new traditions. We do miss them all. The planning, the setting up, and even the hot August sun. More importantly, we miss your faces and watching them smile with pride as we celebrate as members of a group with a shared identity and culture, experiencing what our siblings of 1969 gave us for keeping the promise to never mask who we were again. Don't mask your pride, but right now, please wear your mask so that next year we can get back to our traditions. So please let me introduce you to our Ogden Pride Board of Directors. Brian Barnum, our fabulous board president, not able to be here today because he's taking care of essential needs in work. Sarah Childers Gray, our board treasurer and entertainment director.
I got nothing.
We have Lisa Keys, our resident troop mom and board secretary. Dr. Heather Ambrose, one of our awesome youth outreach co-directors. And right up with her on the awesome youth outreach director, co-director is Dr. Terry Kay. And next we've got Lisa. Now we've got, Lynn Reinsell, our vendor director and one of our webmasters. Sorry, Lynn, 4 a.m. typing. And next we have Tyler Botema, our volunteer director. All right, next we've got Skylar Hokensaw, our resident, I said that wrong, Hokenson, our resident crochet dude. Next up we've got Jamie Lewis, our Instagram lady and photographer. And unable to join us today, Stephen Paul, one of our newest members and our secretary number 2. And our newest our newest member to the board and our resident artist, Naomi Anson. And me, I'm Sean Childers Gray. I'm our vice president and marketing guy. And my pronouns are he, him, his. So thanks for joining us. I'm just going to give you a little bit of state of the Ogden Pride and what's going on with us so that we can be transparent about all of the business that we go through. Well, we know we launched our fundraising efforts and stated intentions of opening our Pride Center here in Ogden. We wanted to give you a quick update on how that's going. Since November 2018, we've had the chance to host our annual soiree and festival, as well as small fundraisers here and there. With the funds raised and still paying for last year's festival, our Pride Center account sits at $18,483. And our general operating fund for operating costs of running our youth outreach and Stars in Action programs and our festival each year sits at $14,314 from the last time we approved our treasurer's report. We want to be transparent in our funding. No board member receives compensation for their time. This board in front of you and those who aren't able to attend us today because of work, we are 100% volunteer run as of right now. Last year we did receive a $5,000 grant as a community partner from the Love Loud Foundation. Our plans this year were to find a space to rent to get the center up and running. In January we were searching for property and working on our business plans for operation. Then the pandemic hit. And though that hit, we are definitely blessed that we didn't move on a lease of property. We still have it always on our minds as we find ways to fundraise for the future Pride Center. We do hope that we'll be able to open as soon as it's safe, sustainable, and responsible with everything we are facing in this pandemic. Each year we begin to plan for the festival. We set out our budget goals to make that magic happen. And each year we found ourselves successful in our connections with our sponsors. We've been able to walk away from the festival further in the positive because of our community, partners, and you. While we know it's tough to give, we're not asking for that today or this weekend. We want you to celebrate Pride to keep tradition. However, if you are able, we do accept donations that 100% will go toward the Ogden Pride Center efforts. On the news of our programming, our youth outreach program was maintaining, but with the school closures and shutdowns, it's been difficult to connect with our youth. We opted to hold off on our youth meetings. We are reevaluating our options on how best to serve our youth, and we will have more news this month on when and how we will begin to meet again. Terry and Heather, our youth outreach directors, know our youth need a place to be safe. So we hope to have a way to bring them activities while still following CDC and Weber County health recommendations. Our Stars in Action program has been slowly building, but we're looking for trans and non-binary folk to join us. Again, this program is being evaluated on how best to serve our community during these times. We welcome your thoughts and opportunities to help it grow. The end of last year, we connected with representatives of SAGE and recognized that our LGBTQ seniors needed a place at our table. We extended a space for them under the knowledge that they were a liaison between Utah Pride Center, SAGE, and Ogden Pride. As we move to pivot toward more digital platforms, we look forward to adding SAGE under our roof and work with the program directors and representatives to provide that for the Ogden and surrounding area. As a board, we recognize that we are missing the voice of our community members of color and can stand to better diversify our board. We're asking you, if you're interested in becoming a board member, we would love to have you. While we can stand with you, we have never stood in your shoes, and we need your voice. There's a great deal of variables as we move forward during this pandemic. The board is still meeting, making plans, and communicating what we see as needs. We always welcome your feedback and thoughts. We work to better serve our community, so please look for more information on what we've got going on. Send us an email to info@ogdenpride.org if you have any questions or want to hear more about what we are doing. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook. You're already there. You're streaming us right now. And follow us on our Insta and Twitter at Your Ogden Pride. And check out our website at ogdenpride.org. We welcome you to Ogden Pride Virtual Festival. While we know that technology is the driving force of today, we also recognize that it's not any of our strong suits. So please bear with us today and tomorrow as we bring you what we were able to through the digital realm. We have a great lineup of presenters and entertainers, all who have stood up and said, Pride must go on, and gave their personal time to connect with all of you. We also have a few amazing vendors who are a part of our festival this weekend. Please take some time to check out what they have to offer over on our website. We hope that the messages our participants have to offer provide a safe space. We know many of you will need these resources. All of our presenters and entertainers' information can be found on our website as well, so you can visit them for further connection. Again, welcome to Ogden Pride's 6th annual and first virtual Pride Festival. Don't mask your pride, but please wear your mask. We hope you enjoy our presentation.